Zack Rosenblatt here, NJ Advanced Media. I'm here in Dallas getting ready for the NFL Draft festivities. It begins Thursday night with the first round. Of course, the Eagles. They won't be drafting until late that night. You're gonna have to stay up late if you wanna see their pick. They're not gonna be picking till number 32, assuming they don't trade up, which I don't think they will, since they don't really have the assets to do so. It seems like they might stand pat, though Howie Roseman is certainly listening to offers. I think number 32 is an interesting spot because it kind of is where guys that are maybe falling into the second round, they kind of fall down. They're guys that were graded highly. I think there are a few guys that if they fell to 32, the Eagles would get them kind of no matter what. I have two guys in mind in particular with that. One is UCLA offensive lineman Colton Eller. He's a project, but he's 6'9", 300 pounds, and I think he would be a good fit as a potential replacement for Jason Peters on the line. However, it does seem like his stock has been on the rise over the course of the pre-draft process, largely because of his physicality and his athleticism, though he is wildly inconsistent. So I don't know if that's a great pick. If you're picking him top 15 at 32, I think that's a great value. The other one is Will Hernandez, another offensive lineman. He's a guard from UTEP. He weighs 320 pounds. He's huge. He's a big guy. He's really strong. I think he had 37 bench press reps of 225 pounds at the NFL Combine. And I've heard, and NJ.com, we've heard that the Eagles really like Will Hernandez to the point that if they actually had more resources, they would consider even trading up for him, but they don't have a second or third round pick, so it would take a lot of maneuvering to make that possible. I don't think he falls to them. If he does, I think they jump all over him. And then, all right, so from there, let's talk a little more realistically who they might have a shot at. They could go in a lot of directions. They could go offensive line, as I mentioned. They could go defensive end. They need a pass rusher. They could go defensive tackle. They could go wide receiver. They could use some, if they're not that confident in Matt Collins, maybe they draft a guy like a Christian Kirk or a DJ Moore if he's there. And then, tight end, I don't see them doing in the first round. I personally don't think they're going to draft running back in the first. I think cornerback is possible. I think safety is possible. So, moving past like all the different possibilities, I narrowed it down to 3 or 4 different players I think are the most likely to be in consideration for that spot. And fourth, I have Connor Williams, offensive line from Texas. He projects as a guard in the NFL most likely, but he has the size to be a tackle. His stock seems to have fallen a little bit. He might fall in the second round. The Eagles would be interested in him, I think, as a developmental tackle prospect that they don't need to play for a year or two. After that, I have safety Justin Reed from Stanford. He's extremely athletic, great size, can play slot cornerback if needed. He could fill the Corey Graham role as a combo cornerback safety and then eventually replace someone like Malcolm Jenkins or Rodney McLeod. I'm not sure he's going to be available there because he has a lot of skill and he's really athletic. So I personally don't think he's going to fall there. If he does, they should consider him. After that, I think Dante Jackson is a personal favorite of mine. I don't know if the Eagles are as in love with him, but they did bring him in for a visit. He has experience as a slot cornerback. He'll be an intriguing fit as a potential replacement for Patrick Robinson, if not this year, then down the line. He has return experience. Comes from LSU. I think he's a name to watch. I think they like him, and I think the fans would be really happy if they brought in a guy like that. And then who I'm going to predict as of this video who the Eagles pick. I'm going to say offensive lineman James Daniels from Iowa. He's listed as a center. He's probably the best center in this draft. The consensus, at least, is that he can play guard. I think he'd come in right away and compete with Steven Wisniewski, which would be one of the starting guards. And if he's not, he'd be a flex backup who can come in at center or guard whenever either Brandon Brooks or Wisniewski or Kelsey either needs a breather or gets hurt. Jason Kelsey is getting older. I think he'll be 31 this upcoming season. So they at least need to develop a replacement for down the line, and I think Daniels makes a lot of sense. He came in for a visit as well, and I think that would be, a center isn't the most exciting pick, especially when the Eagles won't be picking again unless they make trades until the 4th round, pick number 130. But I think James Daniels is a great value at that pick. I know a lot of scouts project him as a Pro Bowl talent, and he could play right away, which goes a long way in this organization because even though they want to develop guys, I think if they can bring a guy in who can contribute to a Super Bowl contender, I think they'll do it. So that's who I'm going with, James Daniels, Iowa.